What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, special video, Saturday video. We're going to talk about our Patreon. So before you get excited or before you get irritated and decide to click off the video, it might be worth sitting by to listen, let you know what we do special with our patrons every year. So let's just jump right into it. We've had a Patreon set up since late 2018. For 3 years, this will be a third season we've done what we call our Patreon pairing. So what we do, what we're going to do this year, I guess I'll just start with what we're going to do this year. Because that's what matters, right? Doesn't matter what we've done in the past. But what we're going to do for this season coming up and how it pertains to you guys, how you can get involved, and going from there. Excuse me. So, every year we have upgraded, we have evolved, we have tried to not only keep up with the times, keep up with what's hot in the, in the breeding circle, what combos are hot, what's going to, try and think forward of what's going to be the next best thing. No different this year. So, 3 years ago, our first Patreon pairing ever was a Killer Blast, which is a super pastel pinstripe to a pastel. Very simple pairing. A couple years ago, though, it was a good pairing. 2 years ago, or last year, I guess I should say, our pairing was a pastel blackhead posset pied to a pied. He didn't prove out, at least not in that clutch. We also had incubation issues, but still someone was able to get an amazing animal. It was I think it was a blackhead het pied, so that was cool. The first year I think was a lemon blast that went to somebody. I don't remember, unfortunately. This year no different. This season what we did, actually, I'm going to explain everything. It's probably going to be about 10-12 minute video. This year we actually had to go back to our third option. So every year what we do, Jamie and I pick two pairings. Okay, so we'll pick, she'll pick two that she likes to offer. I'll pick two I like. Then we each pick one, and we offer them to Patreon. They get to choose which one of the two pairings they enjoy the most, which they would like to win an animal from. So this year, unfortunately, because we had a bunch of first-time girls is who we had picked, both of our pairings didn't go. So we had to go to our resort to a backup pairing, which we had. It was our third in line. And that one actually is really sweet, and that's what we actually have in the incubator and due in 2 weeks. It is a male Coral Glow genetic stripe paired to a female Coral Glow Calico Lesser. So whoever wins this year could potentially get a super Coral Glow, could be female or male, could be Calico Lesser. Everything will be 100% het G-stripe. So, I mean, it's a really nice pairing. It's definitely a bump up from last year and definitely way better than it was a couple years ago. Well, this year we're sticking with recessives, but instead of making a het, our plan is to offer up what could be visual recessives for this year. I'm not going to give any details of what they're going to be. I know it's going to be a visual to 100% het that we produced, and then the other one I think is going to be both sides are going to be 100% hets, but they're one we produced and one we bought from a breeder that we trust and know. So going to be amazing. The pairing's going to be great. We suspect if the person winning gets the visual on either side, the animal could value, hell, on the lowest end could value $1,000 or more, and then it could go up from there. I mean, the one pairing, which is the one I assume people will pick, I mean, if you hit all the odds in that one, you'd be looking at, I would assume, a $2,000 animal. And the way our Patreon pairing works and how it's going to work this year is we set up for October 1st. If you go to our Patreon, the link is right here, patreon.com/JDH Reptiles. You'll see all the tiers. It's a $5 tier, a $10 tier, a $20, and a $50. So that $10 tier is called the Patreon pairing. What you have to do to be eligible is by October 1st, you have to join the Patreon pairing tier or better. So there's that one. The next one I think is the breeder tier, and the next one up from there is the egg layer tier. They all have different perks that go along with them. So basically the only tier that does not count for the Patreon pairing is the first one, which is the hatchling tier. It's more like an introductory tier. You can join, see if you like it for a month or two. I think it's $5 a month, and but you really don't get any perks. If you dive into the Patreon pairing tier or above, there's perks. There's free spots on drawings that we do. For the Patreon pairing, if you're in one of the upper levels, you get additional spots for free when drawing time comes around. So definitely look into that. Go to the link. See if it's something you're interested in. You have to join by October 1st. So we're talking 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks and less than 1 day short of 3 weeks. So don't hesitate. Check it out. If you're on Facebook, when you join Patreon, we're also going to add you on our Facebook page, and we're going to add you to our Patreon chat. We have a chat inside of Facebook that we use. That's pretty much where we do all the stuff through Patreon. I'm going to start being a lot more active in Patreon this season coming up. A lot more things there. We do have a Discord, but a lot of people didn't use the Discord, so we kind of abandoned it. However, it is fully active. So if you are a Discord junkie, I can add you to the Discord. That's not a problem. We could start using that as well. But we're going to do more giveaways. We're going to do everything. I mean, more giveaways is the biggest thing. We're going to try. We used to do monthly giveaways. I think what we're going to do this coming year is we're going to do a lot of stackable giveaways. So there'll be money off towards animals or equipment or whatever we have to offer. And then those will be stackable for up to a handful of months. And then you have the option to use that money if you win. And involving in all that, you have to be part of that Patreon pairing tier or better or above. But it's the Patreon stuff does not go directly through me as far as the finances. You do everything right on Patreon's website. You set it up. It's an auto deduct. So I don't handle any of that stuff. But what I do want you to know is if you want to be involved in the Patreon pairing, you have to be by October 1st in either the Patreon pairing, the breeder, or the egg layer tier. And you have to stay in one of those 3 tiers until we cut the eggs and do the drawing. So for instance, this year, last year, October 1st, everybody had set up, and we actually cut the eggs in 2 weeks. So if you were in that Patreon pairing tier or above as of October 1st of 2020, and you never fell out, never debunked at all, you are still in the running for the drawing for this year that we're going to do in 2 weeks. Someone's going to win an animal. Shipping is included. Everything's taken care of. We cut the egg there. We do a video specifically for Patreon, and they get to see what's in the egg, what they're going to get. Then we'll separate that egg out separately. That way it can stay separate from all the others. And once it's fed and ready to go, we do the drawing, and the winner of the drawing gets that animal no matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's the only good one in the clutch. That goes to the Patreon pairing winner. So check it out, guys. I'd love to see some of you guys join up. We have a lot of fans here on YouTube, a lot of followers on Instagram and on Facebook. Don't hesitate. We're going to do a lot we can to give back this year. And again, this Patreon pairing this year is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Big potential. What we're going to do is in 2 weeks, we're going to make a video for those that are on Patreon. They will get to choose what pairing we are doing for this year. So, on the, let's see, on the 30th, that video will go live. So I highly recommend, if you're not on Patreon right now, join up, get set up, so on the 30th you will see that video. You'll get to have your voice heard. That way we can pick which pairing is going to be the pairing for this year. Great pairings, going to be some huge potential animals there, and definitely want your voice heard. And then from there, like I said, we're going to do monthly giveaways. We're going to go back to doing some of our drawings or our waffles or whatever you want to call them, just for Patreon, for some of the animals that we have. So all that stuff is going to be live only on the Patreon website, only on the Patreon chat and Facebook. Don't hesitate, jump in, check out the link, see if it's right for you. If it's not right for you, I completely understand. Please come back to our YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram if you ever need anything at all. That's totally understandable. But if it's something you're interested in, join up and be prepared to have a bunch of fun getting to meet people, buy from others, sell to others. We got our own little community going on as well inside of the huge reptile community. So, other people do Patrons as well. It's no different. I'm always there to help out when I can. We are very personable with each other. And, of course, if you look at the tiers, there's perks again, discounts off animals you buy from us, free shipping after so long. We're going to have t-shirts made up at the beginning of this year. A lot of those t-shirts are going to go out to people who have earned them over the last 6 months. You could get involved in that as well. So, a lot to have going forward from here. Have a good one, guys. Check all the links down below. The Patreon link is in there as well, but it is patreon.com/JDH Reptiles. Don't delay. Sign up if you're interested. Try and get joined before the 30th. Make sure to send me a message. That way I know you're there. I'm going to get you on the Facebook chat, and then you will always be up to date with everything going on. Take care. We appreciate your support. Have a great day. And any questions at all, you leave them down below, or you can email me at jdhreptiles@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'll answer all your questions. And that's it, guys. Take care. See you later.